All right, so AI generation images and ChatGPT has been rising in popularity in the last few months. And now what we have is political people and people who are seeking to run for office are using and Midjourney AI image generation to create fake images that bolster their political claims and their political grievances. Now, this could be a huge issue given just how easy it is to create any sort of misinformation you could possibly think of using AI image generation. And it's for misuse and for people to mislead and misinform potential voters about very key issues and very key decisions they're going to support. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the New York Times. One second. There we go. All right, New York Times. AI's use in election sets off a scramble for guardrails. Gaps in campaign rules allow politicians to spread images and messaging generated by increasingly powerful artificial intelligence technology. So look at this right here. There's an image generated by AI. This is fake images of downtown Toronto generated by AI, illustrated in mayoral candidates' campaign material. Election, who vows to clear homeless encampments, released a set of campaign promises illustrated by artificial intelligence, including fake dystopian images of people camped out on a downtown street and a fabricated image of tents set up in a park. And realistic looking rendering on Instagram of fake robbers rampaging through a jewelry shop. We got that queued up for you here. So here's this fake AI generated image of these GTA looking dudes who look like they just were in a GTA online session doing a GTA heist. Like, totally fake, no real people, no real crime that is being depicted. Yet if you were somebody that was unbeknownst to the image's true nature, you would not have any, there's no reason to look at this and think twice and go, oh, this is certainly fake, or this is certainly made up. You know what I mean? This is very convincing, very convincing. And maybe this guy's weird face right here in the middle, that might throw me off there. But, you know, in the world of social media and in the world of scroll, people aren't stopping and analyzing every single image that they're looking at. So yeah, this is the New Zealand image here. In Chicago, the runner-up in the mayoral vote in April complained that a Twitter account masquerading as a news outlet had used AI to clone his voice in a way that suggested he condoned police brutality. Wow. So not just image generation, but also AI tampering with people's voices to make realistic sounding clips of a candidate talking. You know, that could be just as dangerous and ripe for misuse as image generation. What began a few months ago as a slow drip of fundraising emails and promotional images composed by AI for political campaigns has turned into a steady stream of campaign materials created by the technology, rewriting the political playbook for democratic elections around the world. Increasingly, lawmakers say setting up new guardrails, such as legislation reining in synthetically generated ads, should be an urgent priority. Existing defenses, such as social media rules and services that claim to detect AI content, have failed to do much to slow down the tide. Yeah, ever since Cambridge Analytica in 2016 and that whole debacle with Facebook and how they basically allowed Russia to manipulate its platform. Yeah, I don't trust any social media companies to adequately monitor and in a efficient way take down content that is misleading and harmful. I don't trust them at all, especially with Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. Yeah, we can't trust these guys. As the 2024 presidential race starts to heat up, some of the campaigns are already testing the technology. The Republican National Committee released a video with artificially generated images of doomsday scenarios after President Biden announced his re-election bid. I remember this now. You guys can go in and watch this video. It's crazy, weird dystopian stuff that is coming out of these AI image generators. While Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida posted fake images of Trump and Anthony Fauci, the former health official. The Democratic Party experimented with fundraising messages drafted by artificial intelligence in the spring and found that they were often more effective at encouraging engagement in donations than copy written entirely by humans. So this isn't an issue of, oh, we're having some AI stuff sprinkled in here and there, and starting to, seeing just a sprinkling of AI. No, the AI is often better at creating incisive, emotionally triggering images and emotionally triggering ad campaigns than humans. Oops. I went back. Here we are. Some politicians see artificial intelligence as a way to help reduce campaign costs by using it to create instant responses to debate questions or attack ads or to analyze data that might otherwise require extensive experts. At the same time, the technology has the potential. An unflattering fake video, an email blast full of false narratives churned out by a computer, or a fabricated image of urban decay can reinforce prejudices and widen the partisan divide by showing voters what they expect to see, experts say. The technology is already far more powerful than manual manipulation. Not perfect, but fast improving and easy to learn. In May, the chief executive of OpenAI, Sam Altman, whose company helped kick off an artificial intelligence boom last year with its popular ChatGPT chatbot, told a Senate subcommittee that he was nervous about election season. He said that technology's ability to manipulate, to persuade, to provide sort of one-on-one interactive disinformation was a significant area of concern. This is the guy who created ChatGPT. Okay. The guy who created ChatGPT is saying that this is an issue for concern. I'm not sure who else's opinion could be more insightful. Representative Yvette D. Clarke, a Democrat from New York, said in a statement last month that the 2024 election cycle is poised to be the first election where AI-generated content is prevalent. She and other congressional Democrats, including Amy Klobuchar, have introduced legislation that would require political ads that use artificially generated material to carry a disclaimer. A similar bill in Washington state was recently signed in. Already bills being signed into law to put some sort of disclaimer. Hey, this is created. Like a pretty good idea to me. Seems like we would want to know what's real, what's being created by a computer, what images are depicting reality, what images are fake. That seems pretty important to me. Not just in terms of, it's double, triple, quadruple important when you're talking about elections and disinformation and how people are being informed to make decisions on which bubble to fill in the ballot box. It makes it even more important, but it's important just generally, in my opinion, for society to figure out how are we going to distinguish between what is AI and what is human made. The American Association of Political Consultants recently condemned the use of deepfake content in political campaigns as a violation of its ethics code. People are going to be tempted to push the envelope and see where they can take things, said Larry Hainu. I can't say that last name. The group's incoming president. As with any tool, there can be bad uses and bad actions using them to lie to voters, to mislead voters, to create a belief in something that doesn't exist. The technology's recent intrusion into politics came as a surprise in Toronto, a city that supports a thriving ecosystem of artificial intelligence research and takes place on Monday. A conservative candidate in the race, Anthony Furey, a former news columnist, recently laid out his platform in a document that was dozens of pages long and filled with synthetically generated content to help him make his tough on crime position. A closer look really showed that many of the images were not real. One laboratory scene featured scientists who looked like alien blobs. A woman in another rendering wore a pin on her cardigan with illegible lettering. Similar markings appeared in the image of a caution tape at a construction site. Mr. Furey's campaign also used a synthetic portrait of a seated woman with two arms crossed and a third arm touching her chin. What is this? This isn't okay. This is not okay. Okay, this is not good. If this stuff is going to be, if this is an image that they freaking used for campaign ads, I mean, you can't see this third arm sticking out of this lady's chest, and that's not normal. Okay, that's not good. If people can't see through this and see that this is that's bad. All right. It's like, geez, I want to see the ones that were dismissed and not used. If these are the ones that are being used, you know, if this guy wins the mayoral election, we are in deep trouble, folks. Deep trouble. The other candidates mined that image for laughs in a debate this month. We're actually using real pictures, said Josh Matlow, who showed a photo of his family and added that no one in our pictures have 3 arms. That's funny. Still, the sloppery renderings were used to amplify Mr. Furey's argument. He gained enough momentum to become one of the most recognizable names in an election with more than 100 candidates. In the same debate, he acknowledged using the technology in his campaign, adding that we're going to have a couple of laughs here as we proceed with learning more about AI. Yeah, here's the thing, okay? I love using AI image generators and to create crazy, zany, weird looking images that are obviously crazy, zany, weird images. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with creating AI images of people with 3 arms. And there's nothing wrong with laughing at when AI generates obviously fake, strange images when we are telling it to generate something totally different. It is kind of funny. Like, there is a certain humor in it, element of humor. But when we're talking about elections, when we're talking about decisions that people are going to make to put people into power, to make decisions on everything under the sun that politicians make decisions on, it kind of goes from being funny and being look, can you believe that this lady has 3 arms? It goes from being funny to being something that is really inherently wrong with our politics in this world, and inherently something that people should stop and think, do we want this technology to be prevalently used in politics? Do we want it? Because we already know how much misinformation there is in politics today in the United States, and with the help of AI, this misinformation, we can just pour gasoline on the fire that is Fox News, and the potential for the misinformation to become even larger than it was in 2016 and in 2020, you know, the potential is there, and something needs to be done about it. Yes, it's funny that these images are being used by actual politicians, but we need to stop and realize that this has the potential to have real world detriment and real world consequences for tons and Political experts worry that artificial intelligence, when misused, could have a corrosive effect on the democratic process. Misinformation is a constant risk, and one of Mr. Fury's rivals said in a debate that while members of her staff use ChatGPT, they always fact-checked its output. If someone can create noise, build uncertainty, or develop false narratives, that could be an effective way to sway voters and win the race, Daryl M. West, a senior fellow for the Brookings Institution, wrote in a report last month. Since the 2024 presidential election may come down to tens of thousands of voters in a few states, anything that could nudge people in one direction or another could end up being decisive. Increasingly sophisticated AI content is appearing more frequently on social networks that have been largely unwilling or unable to police it, said Ben Coleman, the chief executive of Reality Defender, a company that offers services to detect AI. The feeble oversight allows unlabeled synthetic content to do irreversible damage before it is addressed, he said. And here's the thing. Yeah, like I was saying earlier in the video, I don't trust Facebook to deal with this stuff. I don't trust Twitter to deal with this stuff in a meaningful way. And even if it is meaningfully dealt with down the line, that doesn't mean that somebody can't post a doctored AI image. And let's say it gets 10 million views, okay? And down the line, it's removed. Let's say it's posted and it exists for a week. And then a week later, Facebook or Twitter removes it based on, this is obviously an AI generated image that is having detrimental political effect. Well, guess what? There's a bunch of people that they've already seen it. They've already had their worldview potentially informed by this misleading fake image. And by the time Facebook goes and removes it or whatever, they're already looking at some other fake doctored image that Facebook has to remove the next week. So they're not able to police this content in real time. They're not able to do it. And even if they say they're able to do it, I don't believe them. So this is really going to be up to the government, I believe, to make laws and to draw a line in the sand of what's acceptable, what's unacceptable. We can't just trust these social media companies to do it for us. Explaining to millions of users that the content they already saw and shared was fake well after the fact is too little too late. Exactly. I should have just read this next little part here. Exactly what I'm thinking. You can't go back in time and redo, okay? And time marches forward, and people's perceptions that they've already been informed in the past, it's really hard to go back and go, oh, well, that's fake. For several days this month, a Twitch live stream has run a non-stop, not safe for work debate between synthetic versions of Biden and Trump. Both were clearly identified as simulated AI entities, but if an organized political campaign created such content and spread it widely without any disclosure, it could easily degrade the value of real material, disinformation experts said. Politicians could shrug off accountability and claim that authentic footage of compromising actions was not real, a phenomenon known as the liar's dividend. Hold on, I'm going to read this again. I'm not sure I understand what this just said. Politicians could shrug off accountability and claim that the authentic footage of compromising actions was not real. A phenomenon known... Oh, I see what it's saying. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another potentially ripe for misinformation part of all of this, is that now we live in a world where a politician could be filmed doing something that's true and that really did happen and that really should face scrutiny and really should face backlash and should be questioned. But now we live in a world where this stuff's getting so sophisticated, politicians could simply go, oh, that's fake AI image, that's a fake AI generated image. That's not real. That's generated by AI. I would never do that. I would never be caught doing that thing that I was videoed caught doing. I would never do that. That's just somebody faking that event happening. Not good. Ordinary citizens could make their own fakes, while others could entrench themselves more deeply in polarized information bubbles, believing only what sources they chose to believe. So if you had that's just a fake AI generated image, and then you have experts going, no, this is not generated by AI, this and that and this and that is why. This is 100% a verifiable real video or image. What the article is posting here is that you're going to have people that are so divided, and they look at politics through such a partisan lens that the experts saying, no, that in fact is a real video. The people on the right or whatever, they wouldn't believe the experts, and they would believe the politician that is claiming that it is a fake video that's being shared. So it wouldn't even matter. The experts coming out and debunking and saying that this is fake, or even Facebook or Twitter coming out and saying that this is fake, wouldn't necessarily even matter in terms of combating the disinformation, because people are going to believe the narrative and the people who are saying the things that go along with their narrative of how they view the world. If people can't trust their eyes and their ears, they must say, who knows? Josh A. Goldstein, a research fellow at Georgetown University's Center for Security and Emerging Technology, wrote in an email that could foster a move from healthy skepticism that encourages good habits like lateral reading and searching for reliable sources to an unhealthy skepticism that it is impossible to know what is true. Oh, wow. If you're still watching, thank you for sticking with me through reading all of that. I know it's a lot of information, but this could be something that is really, really a huge issue heading into future elections. And I think that if laws are not made to and efficiently police it, I fear what the outcome could be for our elections, not only in this country, but in the future. I have hope that the U.S. government is taking this seriously, and there are signs that, this is being taken seriously, and that the potential for misuse is being recognized. Like in Washington State, they're already implementing laws. I just know that sometimes the government can be really, really slow at catching up to technology. And we have a new technology that emerges, and it's not until 10, 15, 20 years down the line, efficient legislation that polices how people use a certain technology. So the government needs to buck the trend of taking a long ass time to catch up to wake up and smell the coffee and catch up to modern technological advancements. Figure this out sooner rather than later. Okay, because for all the reasons in that article that we mentioned, this could be a really, really, really dangerous tool for people seeking to hurt the political candidates across